Hello and welcome to AM Guitar with me, Anjay. Today we are taking a look at the Fireman distortion from NUX. So, the NUX Fireman is based on a Friedman amp, or more accurately, probably based on the Friedman pedals of the Friedman amp, the BEODs. It is a two-channel amp. It has a gain and volume for each channel. It has a shared bass, treble, presence, and tight. Bass and treble, obviously bass and treble. Presence is kind of upper mids and treble. Tight is kind of the low end, makes it less mushy. Not mushy is the wrong word. As you tighten it up, you lose some gain, but you get better note clarity. Both gain channels are very, very similar. The second gain channel is aimed at lead, so has a bit more presence to it. What you heard in the demo was all the kind of rhythm riffs and stuff in the background are being played on channel 1, and the lead has been played on channel 2. Interestingly, what you also have is the option of going for true bypass or buffered bypass, so the switch on the back, and also a 9 volt or 18 volt, with 18 volt giving you slightly more headroom. And you also get an external switching option as well, which I'll come to later on. So we're going to start with the first channel on 0 for gain. Here is my clean tone, treble pickup, using my Jackson here into a clean amp. And here is the lowest gain setting. Quite a lot of gain already on tap. And actually on the neck pickup with a little bit of volume off, brilliant for blues. Don't worry, this won't be one of those videos that reviews a heavy metal pedal playing blues. I will play some metal riffs as well if you really are good. So here, let's just start winding the gain up. Go to quarter way. Halfway up. 3/4. All the way up. A little bit of noise, but not too bad. So now we'll start playing with the EQ. Let's go 0 bass and just start rolling it in. Feel that in the floor, so you get a load of bass off that without it going too mushy. So we're going to roll in, we're going to do the same with treble, so no treble. Okay, yep, there's treble there, put that back to 12. Presence all the way off. You actually notice that interacts with the gain because it actually starts bringing more gain in. Now the tightness control. Now this is the best control on here because it really changes the feeling of the distortion. I like it halfway, or just slightly below halfway. If I go all the way towards me, now what you can hear is if you go all the way on, you lose a fair amount of gain, but you get better note clarity. So if I just play chords, if I go all the way towards the low times, you can hear there's a little bit of clarity comes back. So all the way on, less clarity. All the way on, less gain, slightly more clarity. Bit less bottom end. Like I said, I prefer it in the middle somewhere. And it responds really well to the volume control on the guitar as well. So if I go onto the neck pickup, roll the volume off, bridge pickup. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to the high gain, the channel 2. So I'm going to turn gains on midday, do the same for channel 2. So you can hear there's a bit more forwards, a bit more kind of, it cuts through a bit more. Gain all the way on. All the way off. And again, the tightness control, I'll put it back to 12 o'clock. Tightness control, all the other controls do the same thing again. Tightness all the way towards me. All the way away from me. And again, somewhere in the middle's probably the nicest tone for me. Now then, the other thing I said on this has, I'm not going to worry about buffered and true bypass. On its own, that makes no difference. It just means whether or not you wanted to buffer the overall kind of signal chain. But the 18 volt, 9 volt does make a lot of difference. If I go back to the rhythm channel, I'm on 18 volts at the moment. If I go down to 9 volts, what you'll hear is slightly more gain and it feels a bit less open. That's 9, and I'll switch to 18. It's a subtle difference, but on the 18, it's just slightly more open, it clips a bit later, not by much, but again, to certain ears, it'll sound like a big difference. For me, I prefer it open, because then I can use more gain and go higher on the gain control before it starts clipping. So there it is. It's a really versatile pedal. I mean, the fact that you can, I say versatile pedal quite a lot at the moment, but all the ones I've been testing recently really are. So I can get my blues on with it, you know, I'll drop the gain down. I can get my metal on. kind of everything in between. I love the fact that it's got 2 channels. I love the fact that they have independent volume and gain, so you can use it really nicely as a solo boost. I like the fact that you can choose between buffered and true bypass, and I love the fact you can do 18 and 9 volt. I don't love the fact that the pedals are really close together, the buttons are really close together. And this is something I've spoken about in other reviews. Because I sing and play, I need to sort of hit a button. If I'm going to turn the high gain on, I need to be able to hit the button really quickly. The problem with this kind of setup is I end up hitting both. But what this has is an external pedal control that allows you to put a 1 or a 2 buttoned control, external button set of buttons on it, control buttons. I'll say buttons a few more times. So what I can do is have a single pedal coming off it with just 1 button on it, like a little Mosky one that I've got, which is just, I can just use to turn it on and off. So I can have the pedal somewhere else on the board and just have the switcher where I want it. So all I have to do is look for the red button and hit it. If I wanted to have 2 and got 2 that were slightly further apart on a little board, make one maybe, I could have the channel switch and the on-off a little bit further apart for me so that I'm more likely to hit the right button. So unlike some other pedals in this form factor where I'm a bit concerned about hitting the wrong button, I could get around that quite easily on my pedal board. So yeah, it covers a lot of ground for me. It's a sort of pedal that I've been looking for, I think. I've got other pedals coming to check as well, but this one is currently on my board because it just covers the ground I need it to cover. Mixed with like a tube screamer, it sounds amazing, just pushes it like a real amp. It responds like an amp. Yeah, really, really, really impressed with that. I'd like to thank NUX for sending it to me. I was looking at buying one, thought I'd reach out. They offered to send it to me, so that's great. I'm not saying it's good because they sent it to me. I'm saying it's good because it is good. I think it's £70, but I'll put the price on the screen now. Either way, it's a really good alternative to buying a bigger, expensive pedal. It's better than some of the really cheap distortion pedals I've used. It's built like I'm going to use this phrase I hate. It's built like a tank. It's very strong. It's full metal case, and it's got a really nice kind of rough surface and a nice rounded case rather than kind of the straight edges that you often get. So it's actually, it's really well built, looks really good. I'm very happy with it. What do you think? Have you tried one? Have you tried the Fireman? I'd love to hear what this sounds like compared to a Fireman. I'm sure it's not quite the same, but also incredibly less expensive. So let me know, jump in the comments and tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.